Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching, I just wanted to hop on here and start to share my story because I feel like the next time you see me, I'm probably not gonna look like this. So I have my abdominal myectomy scheduled for April 7th. So that is this Wednesday. Today is Sunday, so it's in a few days. And I've just been doing some research and watching other girls on YouTube. Everyone's done like a really great job with sharing their story. And I wanted to do the same. And I also felt like I didn't see someone that related to me as far as their symptoms and what they experienced. And maybe I just didn't look hard enough. Maybe it is out there, but I just wanted to share a little bit about my story just in case it relates to you. So I found out that I had fibroids when I turned 30. I'm 32 right now, so it was about 2 years ago. And the way I found out was just because my period was so long. We were going on to the second week and I was still bleeding, which obviously is really abnormal. I'm on birth control pills, and sometimes when you have bleeding like that, they'll tell you to double up, take one pill in the morning, one pill in the night, and that should stop it. So, I was trying that and it just still wasn't really working out for me. So then when I did go into the gynecologist office, she had me do an ultrasound, and when they did the ultrasound, that's when I found out that I had fibroids, and I had no idea what they were. And when they tell you that they are benign tumors, which is another word for fibroids, that totally scares you. I don't have any children, so that was the first thing that came to mind. Am I going to have children? Is this going to affect me? And you can have children. So that wasn't really an issue, and I was happy to hear about that. So now it was all about trying to manage them. So I switched from different kinds of birth control, higher doses, lower doses, progesterone, estrogen, whatever, you name it. And I was sort of controlling it. My periods were extremely, extremely heavy. I was wearing the largest pads. I would sleep on top of a towel because I would have accidents. I would wear black leggings the entire week of my period to work just because I always had accidents. My quality of life was just so poor. And then I tried to do an IUD. So I got the IUD put in, and for the first 6 weeks, I believe you're gonna have on and off spotting, but I bled the entire time. And then maybe around the first month, I felt like my cramps were getting so bad, I was bleeding, and I felt like I was sitting on something. So something just didn't feel right, and I made an appointment, went in that same day. And when the gynecologist took a look, she said, "Oh, your IUD has been dislodged. It seems like your fibroids pushed out your IUD." So that was crazy. She had to take that out. I didn't mention, so I also did an MRI to see how many fibroids I had. And at the time it said I had 8 or 9 fibroids. I'm trying to remember because this was 2 years ago. And the largest one was about 8 centimeters. And one of them was in my lining, my uterus lining. So that's why I was having all the bleeding. And that's why it was so intense, because it was right in the lining. So got off obviously didn't have the IUD anymore, didn't bother to put it back in. And then we switched to progesterone pills. And at this time I decided to go see a fibroid specialist, and she put me on progesterone. And those pills were great. I would say the first month or two, I didn't have a period. And maybe just the first month, and it was great. And I was wow, I can stay on this forever. It doesn't matter. But my body broke through that. I started to have the bleeding again, and the bleeding was still very heavy. And then my doctor asked me to try these other pills when I'm on my period called Lysetta. So the Lysetta is supposed to clot your blood because I was having such heavy bleeding. She recommended I do the Lysetta, get off the Provera, which was the estrogen pill I was taking. the progesterone pill I was taking for 5 days. So the Lysetter, they were like these huge pills, and you take them twice, 2 pills 3 times a day for 5 days, and it was pretty annoying. And I wouldn't even say it really helped. Like, I still had the heavy bleeding, and if anything, it made my period so much longer again. But I would take those pills for 5 days, not take the progesterone pills, and then after the 5 days, start the progesterone, and then it would my period would kind of stop when I got back on the progesterone. I have to also mention that my bleeding was so heavy that I was like extremely anemic. Like, your normal levels are supposed to be like 12, and I was at like a 5. And they were just like, wow, how are you like making it through the day? So I had to go see a hematologist, and I got like iron treatments through like an IV, just like right in your vein, a bag of iron. And I did that 2 times last year. This year, I had to do it 4 times. I was still like really anemic, and the way my insurance was set up, it covered 4 rounds, so I did 4 rounds. So I've tried everything. I would say I've tried birth control, I've tried an IUD, I've tried progesterone, and my body is still not responding the way it should. I'm still having the bleeding. I'm like bleeding for months at this point, you know. It'll start really heavy, and then I'll just like spot the entire month, like just bleeding all the time. So it's, you know, as you can imagine, ruined my quality of life. Doesn't make you want to go out. Doesn't make you want to wear certain cute things. You know, you're just not feeling yourself. So I've decided that I'm going to do the surgery, and I'm terrified, especially, you know, going into the hospital at this time during COVID, and you have to be there by yourself. I've never had major surgery before, so that's also going to be really new for me as well. But I'm making a decision, and I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I can't have the laparoscopic myomectomy, which I would have preferred. That's faster, more safe, less risk. But because I have so many fibroids and because of the size of them, I'm gonna have to do the open myomectomy, which is them just like pretty much cutting you like a C-section and taking all the fibroids out. So it's guaranteed that she'll definitely get all of them out. So that's great. I want her to get them all on. I want to get rid of them. And that is it. So it's supposed to be 1 night in the hospital, and then I get to go home the next day. So I'm literally just getting dropped off and picked up by my sister, and then picked up by a friend. And I hope it goes well, because like I said, I've never had surgery before. Going under anesthesia is super scary. Being under the knife is super scary. So I'm looking forward to just a better quality of life, being able to wear certain things that I want to wear, being more confident again, and just feeling comfortable. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys relate to this, if you're having the same experience, and I hope I didn't leave anything out, let me know. Like, share your story with me. If you had the surgery, tell me how that went for you and how it's changed your life. If you have surgery coming up, let me know. And we're in this together. So have a good day.